What's going on, guys? How we doing out there? Happy Monday to everyone. Excuse me. Yeah, the voice is gonna be rough. Keen, hey, welcome already. Let me switch that over. There we go. Hey,
What's going
welcome,
on, guys?
welcome.
How we doing?
So,
out there? Happy Monday
yeah.
to everyone.
I'm recovering. I'm recovering
Yeah,
from what
voice is gonna be rough.
was
Keen, hey,
Level Up
welcome
Expo
already.
2024, which of course was here in my backyard here in
hey,
Las Vegas.
Welcome.
A 3-day festival, and honestly, I'm worn out.
I'm recovering.
I am
recovering.
absolutely. I'm maybe like 50% at the moment. So
Level Up.
you know, I don't know if you can hear it in the voice, but I'm definitely
Of course, it was here
raspy
in
to say the
my
least.
backyard here in Las Vegas.
But that's good.
3-day
That means it was a very
festival,
successful
and,
expo. That if I'm
honestly,
talking
I'm
the whole
worn out.
time, that means I got people at the booth checking
I am
out the Lost in Space
Absolutely.
game.
I'm
So
maybe like 50% at the moment.
yay us.
You know, I don't know if you can hear it in the voice.
The
but
whole
I'm
reason for
definitely
doing it was, of course,
raspy
to
say
garner exposure for the game. But
But that's good.
equally, if not
That
more
means
important,
it was a very successful
was
expo
the
that if I'm
do I
talking
still
the
have
whole
that
time,
playing?
that means I got people at the
Shouldn't.
booth checking out the Lost in
No, I
Space
do.
game.
Oh,
So
let me kill that. Oops.
Yay us.
Gonna get branded.
The
Was that
whole
music?
reason for
Oh
doing
no!
it
My
was,
God,
of
was that
course,
music in the
to,
background?
garner
Okay.
exposure for the game.
Sorry.
But that's good.
But
Equally, if not more
the
important,
main purpose for doing the expo was to, of course, find out, find bugs. You know,
Gonna get branded.
sorry, told you.
music?
I am,
Oh, no.
I am less than 100% of the moment.
Sorry.
I am absolutely worn out.
The main purpose.
But
for doing
yeah,
the
in
expo
that
was
capacity,
to, of course,
Level Up Expo was
find out,
fantastic. You know, a lot of
find
people
bugs.
checked out the game, and happy to say that
I am
more than
I
any
am
previous iteration
less
of the
than
game, it
100%
seems
of the
like
moment.
people
absolutely worn
played
out.
the demo and, more importantly,
But
completed the
yeah,
demo.
in
I mean,
that
I'm talking
capacity,
like
Level Up
75%
Expo
or
was
more
fantastic.
of the people that tried out the demo that I saw actually
And
complete. I mean,
happy to
it's not a
say
long
that,
demo. We talked about that, but it's, like 15, 20 minutes in length. But
it seems like
wow, I mean, it was that's really exciting and encouraging to see all the people kind of pick it up, and give it a try, not even knowing necessarily what they're getting themselves into, but still once they sort of get the gist of what the game is about, they they keep going. A lot of people, of course, skipped my nice intro video, to be expected. So the animator in me cried a little, but the producer in me was like, yeah, screw it, they're playing the game, who cares? So win-win. But I did make a nice big laundry list. Some of them were major bugs, and some of them were just like minor little glitches. The good news is that Intro Cave is looking really solid. A couple of minor things.
But I did make a nice
One of the things I
big
decided,
laundry list.
and
Some of them
it's killing me because it's like I don't know what took me so long to get to this position. But if we jump over there, save. What did I do? Yeah, fine. I'll save it.
Couple of minor things.
Originally, when we did
One
the
of the things I
game,
decided.
let's see how it go.
It's
I won't
killing
go
me
full
because it's
screen
like,
yet.
I don't know
Let
what
me-
took me so long to
Yeah,
get
wow.
to
Listen to that voice,
this
man. I am
position.
I am raspy.
Jump over
Sorry
there,
about that.
save.
It's gonna be a rough broadcast. But yeah, so when originally, let me give myself all kinds of content here. Let me cheat. Done. There we go.
Wow, listen to that voice, man. I am.
So yeah, got the ladder. Good. So originally the idea that when I first designed the game was that you put the ladder down,
But yeah, so when
and then when you want to interact with something, you just open up your rock scanner and say, yeah, hey, scan that. And it does it. That was always the initial plan, and it works great. It's rock solid. But there is a problem with that. The problem was the fact that everybody wanted to walk up the ladder. And for the first couple of tests that I did for the game, I had a ton of people going like, I don't know if I can't even cheat. But they were like pushing against the ladder, just running against the ladder, going, your game's broken, I can't climb the ladder. I was like, no, you don't have to, man. Look. You can be back here and look at that. You can interact with it without having to touch the ladder, and that didn't matter. So, anyways, long story short, we added ladder input controls. And
your game's broken. I can't climb the ladder.
since that wasn't an initial concept, and it's sort of like this hybrid between cutscene and not cutscene, because when you're doing that, when he starts...
That didn't matter. So anyways, long story short,
Wait,
we added
ladder
input controls.
That's what... Oh, I'm sorry about that. Jeez, that's terrible. Told you. I warned you. I am absolutely off my game. So that was some nice little... I don't know if it was feeding back or not. I heard it faintly coming out. Hopefully the microphone wasn't picking it up. But yeah, did not mute the YouTube site. I always check it to make sure I can see the chats if they don't come through on Streamlabs, because, well, it's like my game. It has issues too. Anyways, muted now. So sorry if that was coming through or not. But anyways, so yeah, it was not the original design, and it never really behaved great, you know. And there was always some little glitches, and I had this simple revelation, and it's just one of those, you know, why didn't you think of it sooner? So what we'll do is it'll all be integrated. So the idea will be that you come over here, and if you drop the ladder, it'll be all one motion, because the only reason you're going to put the ladder down is if you want to actually climb the ladder, right? So you put the ladder down, and he would automatically climb up, and he would be on the ladder, right? So this would be all automated. Boom. You know, a lot faster than that, of course, you know. And then anyways, you'd be able to skip it, you know. But doing this will kill like 5 glitches. Had an outright bug originally where it was so weird. If you open up the inventory and you close the inventory, oh yeah, well, we still have the remnants of it. You see the feet start smoking there. It's just, I mean, that's not creepy. No, that's not creepy at all, is it? But yeah, so, I mean, the smoking feet is when he's running around here. It's that really nice little, like he's disturbing the fog, right? Which is great. But if you're on a ladder, your feet shouldn't smoke for for no mysterious. It's like, dude, your feet are on fire. Told you, it's gonna be a wacky day. I'm tired. But more importantly was the fact that in the original demo I had, if you opened up and closed it, you were stuck. No matter what you did, you couldn't move, right? That was game over, right? I'd have to quit the game and say, sorry, you know, you can't play anymore, right? So, yeah, and that was terrible. So, did a hack to try and fix that, but then Richard, my programmer, actually, Saturday night, came up with the proper fix. So, for Sunday, that was working again. That's cool. But anyways, it's still all one giant headache, right? I mean, and it's a cumbersome process. If I had a nickel for every time I heard someone at one of our testings for the game, you know, they come over here, yeah, they do this, and they come down, and they kind of go, okay, I'm going to go over to this gem over here, and you go like this, and like, wait, where's my ladder? It's like, I left my ladder. I have to go all the way back, which, I mean, you know, there you go. It took couple seconds. Oh, in fairness, the original demo you couldn't run. So walking over, I guess it is a 1/1000, 2/1000. Okay, fine. That's a long walk. And, you know, people are getting frustrated, right? This will alleviate that. This will make it a lot simpler. It'll make it so once you push down like that, it will actually automatically just grab the ladder, you know. Yeah. So, I mean, in one simple little animated cutscene, that goes, done, and that'll make life a lot better for the gamer, and it makes life better for us because, you know, those glitches go away. So that is the game plan. I'm not going to tackle that at the moment because that's going to be a bit of a beast, and I don't want to sort of open that can of worms. I'm going to look for low-hanging fruit because, like I said, I'm on injured reserve. The reason why I am so tired, I guess I should go ahead and clarify that for anyone that doesn't care. So, you know, as I said, the point was to find bugs, right? But just writing them down doesn't help if the bugs are there. So I was, after every night of the expo, I would drive home, race home, grab a quick bite, get back to the house, and start fixing the code, as best as I could to try and squash as many bugs or glitches as I could until my body just said, yeah, dude, you're done. Just go to bed. So, what was that, Friday and Saturday nights, yeah, I was staying up until like past 1 in the morning and then having to get up at, like 6 hours later so I could get there in time. The convention didn't open until 11 or 10, depending on the day, but it was at the Las Vegas Convention Center, but it's on the West Hall, which is like the new and improved hall, which is, I mean, it's nice. It's a nice facility to a degree, but it has like 12 parking spaces. Exaggerating, but it's not that far. It was really frustrating because you had to get there early, because if you did not get there early, you were not parking at the expo hall. That meant that any stuff you were bringing in, you had a much longer walk. And on top of that, you're going to pay a lot more money too, because all the surrounding parking lots were private, So I wanted to avoid that. And in doing so, I ensured myself that I was not getting much sleep, which is why I'm babbling now, especially this morning. I'm so out of it. But, yeah, for anyone that's actually curious, I might as well stop down here for a second since I'm on my little diatribe. Anyone that comes across this later on, level up. Here you go. So this is what it was all about. There you go. Level up 2024 at the convention center. A massive amount of they claim 100,000 attendees over the 3-day session. Now that's a bit of a misnomer, because what that's saying is that, I mean, if one person shows up all 3 days, that means they count for 3. But even that aside, that's still, I mean, we're talking tens of thousands of people, About 90% of them visited my booth. No, okay, no. No. We had lots of people come by the booth, but not thousands. Maybe close. But yeah, this is the convention. I don't know. Let's see, exhibit hall. See if they have the schedule listed here. Let's see. We'll do the booth guide for Indie Booth Guide. There you go. This is all public knowledge, so I can share this. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about here. It says $10 a day parking. They lie. It was $15, and that was the cheap parking. Yeah, so here was like where I was parking over the Diamond parking, and you just see like the parking that you see down in here, right? All the bronze here and the platinum when we were at the South Hall in the previous years. That's tons of parking spaces, as well as the silver as well, right? And I mean, you can see how all this parking totally eclipses all this, right? So if you're going you could, in theory, park down here, but then that's a long hike. The scale doesn't translate. This is a lot, So anyways, you had to get the parking in there. But let's see if we got the, I gotta check that. Yeah, so here's the schedule. So Thursday, and that was the setup day, from 8 a.m. to midnight. Of course, I was literally doing last-minute changes up until the early afternoon on Thursday, trying to get the last-minute things plugged in, and also setting up. This is why you did not see me last week. I had some unforeseen circumstances, some family stuff that came up that sort of made things a little more interesting. So between adding the final touches of the game and making sure that I had all the booth equipment, all the things laid out and ready to go, yeah, that was a delayed kind of thing. So it wasn't until 4:30, give or take, that I actually made it to the expo hall on Thursday, and I was setting up until 10 o'clock at night. So I mean, physically, because of this location, we weren't allowed to drive our cars into there. In previous years, we have been, but they changed the rules. So that meant that you had to take your dolly. Go back here. If I can zoom in. Is it going to let me? That's kind of zoomed in. Yeah. So, I mean, you're parking over here in the Diamond parking lot, and then you take all your stuff, pack it up, and you come and you have to go all the way over here into the entrance, over here, and then all the way back, and then the booths for the indie gamers was back here. yeah, we're talking a 20-minute walk, just to get your stuff there. And then you have to, like, load it onto the cart, take it in, unload it, start setting it up, back to the cart for your next load, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, the point is that there's a ton of setup. So you do all that, and then you get back to the actual show. So Friday, yeah, finishing touches. So that's, I came in and was still doing some last-minute adjustments. And then, so Friday, you were there from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And as I was talking about, then I had my list of bugs. I raced home, and I worked till, because it says 8, but you have to still, like, tear down your table at least a little bit so, stuff doesn't walk away. And you have to get all that set up, and then you get out finally, and you don't make it home until closer to 10, 9:30 or 10. So that, it gave me a couple hours to make adjustments before I finally had to shut down and just go to sleep. And then repeat it again on Saturday. From here, it's 10 to 8, so it's even longer. That's 10 hours of on your feet. I was fortunate enough to have enough people coming to the booth all the time that it was definitely on my feet the whole time. And then Sunday was a shorter day, so you go, yay! It's only for 8 hours long. But then you have to remember that as soon as the thing closes at 6, then you have to pack all the stuff up, get it all on your cart, take it out to the car, put it into the car, get home, and get it out of the car. So, anyways, just kind of pointing out the fact that for anyone that has gone to any one of these little kind of expos, gaming conventions, or whatnot, if you've only gone as an attendee and you talked about how tired you felt afterwards, yeah, bite me. You have no clue how much of a challenge it is to actually be an exhibitor. It is the people that go from show to show to show, tip of the hat, man, because they got some serious endurance, or they're just young and they could do it. But, yeah, wore me out. That's why I'm just babbling. Anyways, enough of that. So we got my list of stuff, and I'm going to try and focus on maybe a couple of the easier items, not in Intro Cave, because as I mentioned, that's just other stuff that I think I'll revisit here later. I didn't even transfer my notes from my phone yet, so I got to bust out my phone and try and look at this. Okay, yeah, Gear Puzzle can show red. I fixed that one. Go away. Nuh-uh. That was a Saturday night fix. You're done. I'm deleting you. Delete, because, yes, I stayed up late on Saturday night, and I fixed that. Camera, look, yeah, no, that's, okay, but blump, make sure it's all the way, okay. Wow, okay, you know what, actually, my list is, at least the dire list, I have two different lists. I had the urgent list, right, which is this top part here. That was the stuff I was trying to get done for the show, and for the most part, except with the exception of one, I actually got that done. But here's the, yeah, this crap needs to get addressed list. Let's see. Can't open the door. Yeah, little simple things, but I'll give you one example of why this is helpful. I can't click on anything. It's going to be a long 2 hours. Let's see, did I give myself I did. I think I gave myself the equipment I need. So, and here's the message too. You can read this. The following content is still in early development. It is filled with temp objects and animation. And then it goes away too fast. So, oh yeah, that was another thing too, was the fact that if anyone goes back and watches any of the previous streams, whenever I would go up to something, and then interact with it, he just stood there, right? He was just, frozen. I realized that people wouldn't understand that, so I scrambled. I think I started before I logged off for last week. I started doing just really quick, simple cutscenes, just, only a handful of frames. And I managed to get over 33 animations with primitive animations put in place before the show and plugged in. That was a push. So, for example, I can't get the force shield to turn on. It's broken. There you go. So, just goofy, simple animations. Yeah, I think I started on the planter before I signed off the previous week. But, like here, he checks it out. He's like, I need to reattach his battery. I didn't want to put too much effort into that. It's only a couple of frames. Number one, because of the time that it takes to do all that stuff. And number two, this was just placeholder. There's no reason to spend a lot of time doing stuff that's going to go right in the trash can anyways, right? So that kind of thing. It's just, simple kind of things like that. All right. But I managed to get over 33 animations like this. This is kind of cool. It can't fit in this. I like that. I have to widen it somehow. So not very subtle. And of course, as usual, after you do it once, you can skip it. In this case, we need the crowbar. We got that. Will is surprisingly strong for a little kid. He's wiry, but he's strong. All right. I'm going to do a different animation because that one just kind of defies logic. But here's an example. I'll turn the audio on so you guys can hear this, hopefully.
With no power, I can't open it with just my hands.
There. So, in my head, that's like, oh, cool. Okay. So I can't use my hands because there's no power. To me, the takeaway is I need to find another way to open it. But what I discovered fast was people would see that and they would just start walking away, right? And it quickly dawned on me that the people that were demoing the game were taking this line to heart. And that specifically is the...
With no power, I can't open it with just my hands.
With no power comes great responsibility. No, sorry. Tired. Sorry, I am tired. And then, then I basically was watching people play the demo, and I was suddenly having to do on the fly. They would do that. They would go like this, and I'd say, okay, now here's this line, right? It says...
With no power, I can't open it with just my hands.
Maybe I should use something else. And by adding that little bit and just watching the reaction, they go... Oh, got it. And they would go crowbar. And it would click for them. That's why
there's the manual
expos
control.
Are fantastic. Because in my head, that made total sense. I completely got the idea of it. But for other people, it's just like, oh, I got to go turn the power on before I get the door open. See, then that's bad choice on my part. But that one's going to require recording new audio, so we're not touching that at the moment. But I want to give an example of why... people say, why would you buy a table at a convention when you're not even selling anything? That's why. That is exactly why. That is so helpful, because if you have those kind of moments, people can rage quit and give you a 1-star, and anyways, I digress. All right. And this is working like it was before. Actually, it wasn't working. I stupidly, I found a bug in this one. What would happen is if you did this, if you got something and you kind of backed out, and you can put it in here and then you kind of go, wait, nope, let me back out and put it back on the right. So the way it works is contacts, right? It's, if I can maybe find it, give a better example here. Yeah, here we go. Let me zoom in. Woo. There you go. So the way it detects if the thing can be placed there or how much contact it's making is with the sphere. So right now he's not hitting anything, but if we do this, oh, wrong thing. There we go. Like that. See, now these guys are making contact, right? It doesn't look like it because that's just the colliders, but if we do the whole, let's see. Where is it? Oh no, that's because it's medium gear. Okay, that's not actually the thing that it's the placer. That's what actually has it. Anyways, so what it does is it counts, and it says if there's the number of contacts it has and that kind of thing. But what I foolishly screwed up was the fact that if you go like this and you put it back down to the ground, it should zero out the contacts. No, it didn't zero it out. It just held on to the value. So as a result, every time you did that, it was additive, and the contacts when you first pick it up off the ground, instead of being 0, it would be like 3 or 4 or 5, depending on how many times you'd placed it back down on the ground like that. So then, long story short, you got to a point where I could move this little guy around and see how it's green. It would show up as red. And it's like, why is it red? You know, and that's when I realized that there was a bug. So, fixed that one Friday night. I think that was a Friday night fix. So got that one addressed. But anyways, I'll skip this because everything else is pretty much the same. And then, funny story about this. You see how just frozen
Hey,
he
that
is?
worked.
Oh, let me mute that. Yeah, okay, fine. Yes, it worked. Originally, I had him sort of like, leaning over and like really working it. And then I finished adding the animation. I was kind of happy with it because I actually spent a little more time than I should have of doing like the body motion. But then after the second or third viewing of him doing that, I realized that could be misconstrued. It had some unintended implications. So I went back and just said, okay, fine. I moved him back, moved the arm further away, and just made the upper body just frozen and just like made it so it was very obvious. It's like, look, he's just moving this bar over here, okay? Don't start thinking things. But that's the kind of stuff you have to do. I mean, especially if you got little kids playing the game and the parents looking, going, so. Anyways, Killer Tofu, what up, buddy? Yeah, and all this is working. I think I had all this stuff dialed in. Oh, sorry about the miss. Lucchini's over on the YouTube side. Look at that. What's up, buddy? So, you guys missed it. I just spent the last half hour doing the recap on the Level Up Expo. Long story short, well, now I see you in two different places. I see you on YouTube. I see Lucchini on YouTube, and I see I'm Lucchini on Twitch. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, sorry for those that that are watching the stream from the beginning. Sorry for the repeat, but yeah, I'll do a quick recap. You hear it in the voice, right? You hear I'm wiped. Nicely done. No, Lucchini is great. That just means the viewer count increases. Adding one more person, increases my viewership by 30%. That's sad. But yeah, I'm maybe like 50% right now. It was good. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, you're going to have to go back and watch the video, the first half hour. So, I did the full explanation there, and you're just going to have to deal with no. It was fantastic. It's exactly what I needed it to be. A ton of people played it. The vast majority of them completed the demo, which is so much better than it was in the past. A lot of times people pick up at Comic-Con, well, in the past, have picked it up, played it, or even Level Up last year. Have picked it up, played it for a couple of minutes, and then set it down. And I think it's a combination of last year's version being graphically much more simple, because we were still targeting mobile then, right? And now we have the PC friendly, the camera friendly version, combined with all of the new notes and making it the gameplay so much better. I'm thrilled by the fact that I literally had at least 6 or 10 times people commenting about how it looked visually, looked really good, and I mean that's thrilling to hear. I mean, I guess it's because also we're on the indie section, because people are not expecting to see something with this much effort put into it. But so that was very encouraging. On the mobile, well, after this for sure. Thanks, Lucchini. I appreciate that. But no, it's just because you work in a vacuum, and it's the forest for the trees syndrome. So after a while, you kind of, all you see is like, oh God, we should have added more polys to that, or we should have up-res the texture on that, and that kind of stuff. Animations suck, man. Yeah, for example, here you go. Look at this. Chunk, 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 chunk. Someone else was comparing it on here, saying it looked like stop motion animation, and it's like, yeah, that's actually I used that. I stole that line. It's like, yeah, it looks like stop motion, but once again, 33 animations I had to get done in a 3-day time period, which included creating them all, exporting them, importing them into Unity, and plugging them into the cutscene along with any objects that they may be using. For example, the crowbar, the grass thing outside. Yeah, exactly. So it's more of that. So those are the only ones. I would say it would have been 35 or more animations, but because I'd already done the picking up the planter, I excluded that one. But I mean, things like this. So here, he's using the crowbar and he's trying to get it like that. And let's see, do I have? Yeah, I have the pole. So here, now you see how he's reaching the pole up and kind of smacking the bucket around. Oh, wow. It's been not repeatable? Oh, really? Wait, seriously? Why is that not repeatable? Uh-oh. Hey, look at that. I just found something. I can't believe nobody did this more than once. On bucket. Is repeatable. Oh, that sucked. That definitely is repeatable. So what else is... Oh, yeah. Or this. Use gripping pull on... Oh, yeah, because... allow after first... Yeah, I was doing this when I was tired, obviously, because that's totally wrong. Use crowbar on bucket. Yeah, so this is correct. Allow after first. That's correct. Okay, good. So just a couple of them that were wrong. Yeah. Gripping claw on bucket. Yeah, no skipping. So yeah, some of them, because they only happen once, I make you sit through the animation, and some of these, like I was just talking about with the pole, you should be able to do it endlessly. So as a result, you should be able to repeat that. So oh, that's why. Okay, so let me undo that. Let me just, for simplicity's sake, I will remove this guy and give myself the pole. Gripping pole. Done. Alright. And then here's the message too. What we're looking for is gameplay, bugs, and feedback on the puzzles. And what's crazy is the fact that also is so frustrating. So this is the new content that I really wanted people to try out and find out if it played well and obviously any bugs. But the predecessor to this is after you return from the cave, and it has that whole sequence where he looks around and he realizes that the place is trashed because of his actions, that cutscene. And it goes from the cutscene into this, and if you skipped it, then it would jump into this gameplay. But if you let the cutscene finish, it would actually lock up because I forgot one stupid line of code. So that was terrible. How'd you rate the convention? Well, in terms of advertisement, it was decent. I mean, I don't have the sign here handy, but here, you know what? I can load it up. Give me 1 second. Boom, boom, boom. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's see. Sicko L. Oh, you know what? No, I think I have it in this folder under my conventions folder. Yeah, I got the the voices dropping. Free stuff sign. See if that, there it is. Yeah. So yeah, so I have this little sign, and it's cool. There's a company that prints all my banners that is in town here, so I could just swing by and pick it up. They're so cheap. They have these illuminated LED stands that are like 8.5 by 5, and they light up. And I printed these up, so I had this whole shtick. If somebody actually plays the demo for a while, if they get up and just kind of put the controller down and get up and walk away, then it's just like, well, hey, I'll say, hey, thanks for trying out the demo. But if they go to the full extent of it, and if they either complete the demo or if they finish it but kind of go, oh, I got to run off, but this is really cool, then I'll give my spiel, which is, hey, quick question for you. Are you on Steam? And they say, yeah. And they go, great. So I have a great deal here. If you will give me a wish list right here, right, then I will, respond in kind with either a free acrylic pen and magnet, which list costs you nothing. You get a little free something. And the vast majority of the people I asked, I mean 75%, yeah, you can scan it. All it does is it takes you to the Steam page. You know, it's not a magic link to anywhere special. It's just going to show you the regular page. And you're a little out of arm's reach to... No. But anyways, I had at least 3/4 of the people, if not more than that, probably, that's probably being low, that would immediately pull the phone out and go, oh, wow, yeah. But then I had about a 50% success rate with people being able to log into Steam on their phone. You know, I had so many times of people just kind of going, yeah, I don't remember my password, man. I can't remember my password. I just like, but one dude, he's my favorite guy out of the entire, I mean, I had a lot of great people that played the demo this weekend, but one guy in particular was so cool. He was so adamant about getting his little acrylic pen that he did 6 password resets on his Steam before he could finally get it set up right and log into his account. 6. He reset it 6 times, you know? And then I went, oh crap, I'm out of pins. Sorry, dude, you're screwed. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that's pure evil. It is. It is amazing what people will do for something like that. But I mean, it's cool. An interesting side note: the acrylic pens were a big hit in a 3-to-1 ratio over the magnets. The little kids seem to like the magnets. I think they want to throw it on the fridge or something, you know. But yeah, a lot of people were pulling out the phones, but maybe 60% of the people were able to get in this team. But it's a very cool thing. Part of it, I hope, is that they're interested in the game, but part of it is also just, yeah, hey, a freebie. But I mean, it's mutual, and I mean, end result is that I got, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens of new wish lists by people that the key difference is I believe that they're going to be genuinely interested in the game, you know. And just to clarify that, because I don't force the game on someone that I don't think is interested. You know, like I saw there's another gentleman that had a booth near me that was standing out there in the middle and was literally handing out his postcard for his game to people. You know, they're just, and not people that are like walking by checking out his game, but just kind of walking by. And to me, that's a super low percentage of people. If anything, if I get handed a postcard, you know, randomly, I'm going to be, even if I might be interested in it, I might be more reticent to even do it because it's like, this is kind of annoying. This is like, you know, spam call. You know, I might be more likely to throw in the trash can, even though it's something that I might have been interested in. So, you know, if I was able to make it, I'll let you know. My Steam is already logged in on my phone. Yeah, real life. Yeah, exactly. Real life spam mail. But, you know, so like I said, I do not give the pitch on the whole, hey, I'm giving you a free trinket, you know, if you wish us the game, to somebody that just is looking, or someone that plays the game briefly and shows they're not really interested, you know, because, yeah, number one, even if they do wish list, you know, odds are exponentially higher that they will unwish list it, you know. But on the plus side, let's see if this is still true. Before I actually show this, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is the case, because I don't want to say it and then be wrong and look like an idiot, which happens all the time anyway, so I guess I shouldn't care. Yes! I was right. So, this is a personal pride thing. This is pure ego, right? This is, you know, like the proud parent kind of moment. But, you know, we talked about this before. Wait, where did my link go? Really? Yeah. So, I talked about this before, but I'm not the only Lost in Space game in the store, okay? And I've discussed this before, that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's lots of games that have the name Lost in Space in there, and mine's actually licensed, right? It's a legal trademark. And when I contacted Steam, as I have talked about before, I've said this, and Steam's response is, well, then go deal with it, dude. Okay, I added the dude part, but you get the idea. They were like, lo siento, pero no es mi problema. They're like, go fix it. If you want to sit there and send your lawyers after those people and send them a cease and desist, be fine, but we're not doing crap. So, all right, so let me catch up here. I'm falling behind. They're pretending to have fun. Sell me something. I don't want it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. But it would take time and money to take it off. But what was frustrating to me is that I was the only one that legally had rights to use the name Lost in Space. Yet, when I first created the Steam page, I was the 7th listing for Lost in Space, which was driving me nuts because people would automatically wishlist the first Lost in Space they came across. So the number 1 Lost in Space game owes me money because they had wish lists that did not belong to them because apparently their game sucks. Anyways, the reason I mention this is I discovered this at the expo. If we come over here and we look, check it out. I'm no longer in 7th position. I am now number 2. Yeah. I amuse easily, especially when I'm very tired. But yeah, we're climbing the ranks. So, yeah, boy. God. Sorry. Yeah, but this is like, so this one has been released. That's a big difference too, is that the game's for sale. Yeah, and let's check it out here. So mixed, 22 reviews, and it's mixed, right? So you're all over it. Wait for a Steam sale. It'll probably be down to like 40 cents at some point. Oh God. Oh, it's gonna be that. It's gonna be like this. Okay. But yeah, it's like, people look at this, and if they know Steam, they may look at this, and they're not looking at the pictures. They're just looking at the name, and they go mixed, and they go, ooh. Okay, maybe this game sucks. It's like, no. The poor indie dev. Hey, this is a 100-person team that made this. Louis Incorporated. Okay, maybe not. Louis Incorporated doesn't sound like a 100-person team. But anyways, the personal pride there. I'm happy, very happy. Can't type, but I am happy. The fact that we are now numero dos in the line there. But so there you go. We are 2nd in command. And I look forward to the idea of once the game goes on sale, we will take that top spot because I do not predict to have a mixed review. If I do, God hates me. That's the only thing that would explain that. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. And this is obviously it's a fun it's fun justification to when I said that getting wish lists do matter. Part of it is just how many people are coming to the webpage and looking at the Steam page, but the wish list. Anyone that says that wish lists don't really matter, dude, bite me. Look at that, number 2, right? So I think it really does matter. Okay, we will, this is going to be a waste of a day, I think, anyways. I'm not going to, my programming would probably just mess the game up, so we will jump on both Dune 2 and Fallout bleh here in a little while. I just want to finish my thought on the expo. Unless, Lucchini, if you decided that I've talked too much about the expo and we need to just move on. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. We'll see if we're on the same page. I'm only in the 3rd Fallout episode. I'm not a spoiler kind of guy, but you better watch out for Lucchini. Killer Tofu, you might want to block Lucchini's text for a while when we start talking about it. He may throw some spoilers out there. Okay, then we will revisit it. If you guys are interested, I will actually show you. Can you? Yeah, Killer Tofu. Convention, me, go, show, game, done. There. See, now you're completely up to speed. I'm punchy. No, I will say this again. I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it, but the whole point was to find the bugs. So even though the convention was ending at 8 o'clock at night, and then I had to race home, I was still spending hours at night after the convention, even though I've been pitching the game standing all day because my booth stayed active, which I'm thrilled about. But I came home and I was working until after 1 in the morning trying to fix bugs and then getting up at 7 so I could get there before all the parking filled up. So that's why at this point I'm loopy as hell, man. This is basically closest you're gonna see me to being like drunk, I think. So this I should stop down on this stream right now because this is gonna be what was he on that day? Was he like, juicing on the nitrous oxide or something? All right, let me try and focus a little bit here. Yeah, I'm almost slurring my words. And that does happen, actually. I mean, Comic-Con is much worse because Comic-Con Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's 5 days. This is only 3 days. I am? I'm allowed to have fun? Sweet. Cool. Let's see. If they are next year, I'll try and make it out. Yeah, Kilo Tofu, since you are local, I might be able to hook you up with a badge on loan too. So that's a year away. We can talk about it. But I was thrilled to have my buddy Richard, the programmer. He came out on Saturday, and I think it was a thrill for him too because, he's helped me before in my booth just as a volunteer and very appreciated. But this time he came as part of the team, and I think for him it was super fun because somebody come up and then kind of go, wait, did you work on the game? And he goes, yeah, I'm the programmer. He didn't say it like that, but I think it was for him, there's definitely more of a personal pride in it as well. So I mean, I was thrilled for him that he got a chance to experience that. My friends want to watch it. Oh, got it. Okay. Okay, then we won't talk about we'll talk about Dune 2 and Fallout when you're gone, Lucini. So when you come back, we'll just say, nope, not going to happen. Oh, before you go, Lucini, you want to check out, if you're still there, I was going to show you what the booth looked like. If not, then, yeah, whatever. Oh, I'm just trippy today. Here we go. So there it is. So, fun story about this was the fact that because I've been doing the Level Up convention for at this point at least 8 years now. I don't know, I haven't done the math, but it's at least 8 years worth of attending this. I've been able to ensure that I've been given corner booths, which are awesome because then you get your L-shape corner booth kind of thing. Excuse me. And this year was no different. They gave me a corner booth. Unfortunately, let me see if I can find the map. Let's see. Exhibit hall. The map should be there. Give me 1 second. We're scrolling. Actually, I could do this on here. What the heck? Let's see. Yell if you see something that looks like a map. And there's no map. So on the exhibit hall page, there's no map. Events, guest, travel and venue, hotels, policies, map. Okay, there's all the companies. Let's see if we can, let's see if we can find it. We're scrolling. Wait, seriously? You have the names, but oh. There it is. There we go. So it's weird. It's kind of disjointed. But so here's the indie game booths. They're not actually floating out in space. They're here behind the artist alley tables. But if we zoom in, this is my booth right here at G1, right? Which you go, oh, sweet, look at that. You're right there. You're right there in the corner. You got all that great foot traffic. Yeah, except for the fact that this is actually, the green dot was not here. The green dot was here, which meant that my booth, I had a fantastic view of the wall. I mean, the wall was right here. And I saw that, and I'm just kind of going, oh, no. Because there was a convention, Level Up, about 4 years ago, where I was wall adjacent, and I had 25%, 30% of the foot traffic that I had in previous years. And I saw that and I was like, oh, hell no. But I was walking around looking at the others, the other booths, and we came across this one, G14, and it said Stroll Art. And I realized that was my friend, Mike Stroll Art, who anyone that's a long time friend of watching the streams knows that Stroll Art is doing the Below the Stone game, right, with the little dwarfs and the mining kind of stuff. And they offered him the booth, but he's in Canada and ultimately decided that he couldn't make it in. So I saw that booth and I just went, oh. So I ran up to the booth and I'm telling the guys, like, dude, I can't be here. I cannot do this again. You know, this is no, right? And I said, look, this gentleman right here in G14, he's not coming. You know, and I would like to take over his booth. And the guy's like, how do I know you're not just saying this? And I pull out my Discord and I go, here's the conversation, you know, and he's reading it and he's kind of like, oh, this guy's kind of a jerk. He didn't tell. And I was like, oh, crap. Oops. Well, okay. Maybe I screwed that up. But long story short, I got the booth. So I went from here to here. And my foot traffic as a result is tenfold. I mean, because what ended up happening is the buddy of mine was in G3. He and I had video games that we were showing. Now, he is a gentleman with a day job as well, a night job, but I mean, he's a bassist for a Prince cover band. And as a result, he could not get there to set up on Thursday, so he was not using that booth. So they ended up putting like an artist just selling art there. So I realized that I'm here with no video games. And I had to get out of there. And I did. I moved over to G14. And then some other artist claimed the G1 booth and was selling art. You know, not video games. But anyways, the whole point is that I moved over. And at first I was bummed because it's like now I lose my two tables. And then I just had my stupid moment. It's like, dude, why don't you just invert the L? So there you go. This is what the booth looked like. So I had not one, but two big old TV screens showing off the game. You got the one right here, and you got this one right here, right? And then I have this one just showing off the trailer, just kicking away. And then this is the sign I showed you earlier, and this is the cool little LED that just illuminates it. And it's great because it draws the eye, because it is physically lit up. You know, it's a really nice little yeah, I lost my words. It's a really nice additional thing just to help people catch on to. And because what I would do is just, you know, when I would do my pitch, like I was telling you about, where I'd say, hey, are you on Steam? I would just reach over, grab this, right, and just kind of like, you know, going to go, hey, look at this. You know, if you just give me a wish list, then, which is no cost to you, you get yourself an acrylic pen or magnet as a thank you, you know. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. So here's the funny thing. So on this side, we had a nice family that was like a father, wife, and kids. They were showing their own shooter game. And on this side, we had this really interesting booth called Level Up on Education. And Level Up is the actual expo itself. And I'm still not quite sure exactly what the booth was about. It was kind of confusing a little bit. But the reason I mention this is because midday Saturday, and once again, the convention goes till end of day Sunday. Midday Saturday, they cleaned off the table and they pulled that sign down. And I saw that. I'm kind of going, that says to me that they're not coming back. And then I went for the it's better to ask forgiveness rather than permission approach. And I was like, okay, well, you know, if we got a little more room. So then I went like this. So I took that table, the L-shaped table, and just rotated it out, moved their table over a little bit, and just commandeered the space. And check it out now. Commandeered their chairs, and now I got like, you know, practically a double booth. So, you know, there you go. You know, why not? They were, and I said, like, it does, doesn't it? It looks a lot bigger. I figure worst case scenario, I mean, because, yeah, here, you can look. See? There you go. You know, visual, and this is not like AI generated. This is legit photo. Like I would bother to doctor this, but here are the hooks for the sign, right? And you can see that they pulled that sign down. I didn't pull it down. They pulled it down. There's nothing left on the table. They were done. But my thought was, worst case, if they actually showed up later on, then it's fine. I would just take this table, rotate it back, give them their chairs back, and, you know, no blood, no foul. But, yeah, they were done. They did not show up again. So, as a result, this was awesome because, you know, you have a little bit of a cramped feeling in that little L shape, and also, you know, just that TV, because it was L shaped and blocking. If someone's walking from this side, this TV, they're looking at the back of the TV, and it could also be kind of occluding the view of this TV. Occluding. Can you tell I work in video games? So yeah, this worked out perfect. And then, you know, you see I have Dr. Smith standing guard in the middle so nobody can get behind it and mess with stuff. So that ended up turning out fantastic. You know, I was thrilled that it worked like it did. And then just took the little sign and threw it up here just as an eye catcher. And it really worked too. I mean, it's funny how the reactions are totally different depending on the age of the individual. If they're younger, then they're like, oh, what is the game? And my standard spiel is, hey, what's up? So the game is called Lost in Space. It's a point-and-click adventure. I can't even say it anymore. It's point-and-click adventure game, kind of like Telltale or LucasArts. And we've licensed the classic TV show called Lost in Space from the 60s. And that was the introduction, just to sort of like orient someone so before they sit down, they at least have a fundamental idea of what they're getting into. You know, this isn't going to be a shooter. This isn't going to be Minecraft. You know, this is going to be like a Telltale, Walking Dead kind of thing, you know. And that was the quick spiel, the elevator pitch, as they say. And that was enough to get people to understand because, I mean, I haven't had the perfect pitch before, and I've had people sit down and kind of not realize what the game is, you know. But if you can sell them on the idea going, hey, this is like, you know, Telltale LucasArts, and if they still step forward, then they're interested, you know. And some of them are like, you know, yeah, no, I'll come back later, which is the last time you're going to see them. But that was the younger demographics. The younger ones will look at it and kind of go, oh, yeah, hey, this is interesting, you know, and pick up the game and play it. And the older generation would just look at the banner, and they would do one of these things. They just kind of look at the banner and kind of go, like, wait, you know. And if I could have made the best drinking game. If you wanted to get instantly drunk, the drinking game for me at the Level Up Expo would be simply every time you have to drink, every time somebody says, you didn't license this, did you? You know? And I think at one time I was getting a little tired, a little punchy, so somebody did ask me that, and I went, why? Do I have to license it? You don't think they'd care, do you? You know, and the person gave me that look like, oh, dude. And then I and then I point up to the banner, I'm going, look, there's the legalese. There you go. The fine print, that's not very fine. That's pretty damn large, okay? So there you go. It's legit, you know, but I only did it once. I was good. You know, I was tempted a few times, but I mean, and I totally get it, you know, because if you're walking around the indie section, right, we are the poor, you know, we code, you know, in Starbucks because we don't have an apartment with Wi-Fi. You know, we have no internet. You know, we're living on the street, so we go to, you know, Starbucks. We can, you know, make our games because we have no money, you know. And so, you know, the fact that they're seeing something that looks like a legitimate license, it's like there's no way an indie could pull that off. You're far too sarcastic to stop myself from saying stuff like that. Yeah, I am too. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge to kind of like bring it back. You know, we don't want to, you know, these are our friends. You know, we don't want them kind of like turning in and going, I need to be anywhere except around you, you know. But, yeah, it's, here's a better view of the sign. And it's cool. Actually, I have it plugged in, but they have like a built-in battery. And they'll go for like 8 hours of just illuminating the sign. Excuse me. But, it's, you know, it's, it was interesting to see the split there. You know, the ones that just want to see the game versus the ones that were curious about the license. And it was fun. It was great. You know, a lot of them were shocked, you know. I mean, and I totally get that because if you've never experienced working with a license before, you know, you just assume any and every license of anything that's ever been on the face of the earth has this massive undertaking, and it's something that only, you know, an Activision, you know, or you know, a company of that size could actually do. But No, the reality is the license costs as much as it's deemed valuable. You know what I mean? So I mean, if it's something like this where it is a property that's, it was a TV show from the 60s, and I mean, there's not a significant amount, put it this way, there's more people that know Pokemon than know Lost in Space. Let's just put it that way, Nothing cracks me up more than a little kid that has no idea why they do it, but they suddenly go, danger, danger, and they wave their arms up and down. They have no idea what that means, but they know there's a connection somehow, and that's always fun to see. But there you go. That was Level Up Expo. Packed up the car last night. I finished that around 8:30, close to 9. Oh, and I was also socializing too. That's the other bad thing, is that you make friends with all the people in the booths around you, and you find yourself kind of chatting away with them when you finally get the chance. One of the fun things for me was the fact that the booth across from me had a demo of a game that they were working on, and they were using Quest 3 headsets. And I got a Quest 2. I love it, but I'm too cheap and too broke to actually buy a Quest 3. But I wanted to see the difference because I've heard all the raves. So I wanted to support him and try out the game, but secret was I was also equally interested to see how good a Quest 3 was in comparison. It's lighter. The Quest 3 is definitely a lighter headset compared to the Quest 2. Graphically, I couldn't see the difference. I mean, I won't say that. I couldn't see a significant difference. It was not. I was expecting to go from DVD to Blu-ray. How's that for an analogy, right? Is software still at this point? Okay, so maybe that's it. Maybe it's just the fact that nobody wants to develop only for the 3 because of the smaller. And I mean, VR is a niche market to begin with, and 3 would be niche of a niche. So I guess that does make sense. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think a perfect analogy, give myself a pat on the back for this one, is I was expecting to go from Quest 2 DVD quality, and the first time you fired up a Blu-ray on a proper 2K monitor, and you're just like, wow, I'm in the movie theater. That was the jump I was expecting. It's definitely more comfortable. Yeah, absolutely. You got both. I'm jealous, man. And the game itself was sort of like a zombie shooter, but the characters were almost Minecraft-like, So maybe this was not the perfect test game to check out, but I mean, just in terms of aliasing, I guess that was one of the things that was jumping at me. Is I was expecting to be much more anti-aliased, just because of the resolution of the eyes and that kind of stuff. So I'm surprised, and if anything, it made me go, you know what, you're good. You can stick with the 2 for a while. What I don't remember what the term is for the 2's lenses, the ridged kind of thing. I mean, that's distracting, of course, when you look at the on the edges, and it kind of melds it. Where I know the 3, is it foveated, I think is the term, where it's like instead of having the ridges, it's actually just sort of an extended curve kind of thing. So in terms of peripheral vision, the 3 kills for sure, but it is not a, I mean, what is that? It's a 150% price difference between a $200 Quest 2, which is now $200 now, which is crazy, and a $500 Quest 3. Yeah. But yeah, not much gameplay graphics at this point. Yeah. And I mean, I look forward to when people figure out how to cut the corners and make the Quest 3 just have fantastic graphics. It ain't gonna be me anytime soon. I'm still in PC land for the foreseeable future. But it was fun to finally get a chance to try out the Quest 3 and to reassure myself that you can just shut up and enjoy your 2 for quite a while longer. So that's the game plan. I guess I could try and be a little productive. The AR stuff is fun. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the 3 has that all over it. Yeah, and I mean, to me, the AR, and I mean, until there's an AR killer app, to me, the AR game stuff in Quest 3 is what you show your friends when they come over. You know what I mean? It's more the showpiece. It's sort of like when you got your Laserdisc player. I'm dating myself, and you showed the THX Laserdisc that showed like the perfect audio and visual quality. And this is as good as it gets. It's like, that's great, but you don't watch that demo on your own. You show it to your friends. You don't know if he showed you a cowboy game I was working on before. He had it running on Quest 2. Yeah, you did. I think, I do remember that. It's been a while. But I vaguely remember I think it was like, was it in a saloon or something like that? You were walking around? I mean, once again, too much soft drink drinking, so I can't swear that that's correct. But, okay, good. Hey! For being as far as I am, that's actually a pretty decent memory work there. Good memory. Good brain. So, God. I'm going to have to delete this video. I'm just, talking stupid today. But super fun to build an environment in my head and then walk around it. Yeah, I would love to have the time. I have a couple ideas of what I would love to do for a VR game, but it's just, I'm too scared about. The only way you can make significant money is if you have a significant hit, if you know what I mean. I love the fact that Quest games sell for higher than they do on Steam. That's awesome. But you also got a infinitesimally smaller market. But, one day I definitely want to come back to that and make something. But, big risk. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'll put this out there publicly right now. I love making point-and-click adventure games. This is my ideal because I'm the filmmaker / game maker, So, I get to tell stories and combine it with puzzles. That's like a dream scenario. But I also am fully aware that I am in a super niche market, and so I don't know if this is going to be financially viable in terms of, I have total faith that the game is going to do well, but well enough that it justifies continuing to make other games that may not have as much of a pronounced intellectual property tied to it. Don't know. And if that's the case, then I have an alternate idea, which is in a totally different genre. And all I'll say is that it would be a party atmosphere type game. It was something that you would play socially with your friends, and you all come over when you're having like just a dinner party or something like that. And that's, you know what? I'm talking way too much today. So we're going to stop down on that discussion altogether. Point-and-click adventure 2. Oh, sweet. Just a hobby level. So less risk for you. There you go. Yeah, because at this point, I'm definitely financially invested. Still nothing compared to a properly budgeted game. But, in terms of the investment in the outsourced art that I've had made for the game, and also my buddy Richard, who's handling the programming, yeah, there's out-of-pocket expense there for sure. Not to mention the fact that I'm paying myself Zippo, until the game is succeeding. So there's that. All right, let me go. I do. Oh, because you came up with that one one item that entitles you a third. Okay, so your programming skills are impressive. Your math is a little lacking. Let's see. Okay, so I'm trying to find something I can actually. Oh, you know what? Here's what I want to do. It was worth a shot. Yeah, I don't blame you. Let's see if I have this. I do have on begin here for that one. I'll do that the same on the drilling. Let me come up here. I'm going to actually try and do a little work. What the heck? I'm going to add some on-game focus and then on begin. And I'll explain what I'm up to here in just a second. Because there's still one dead in your tracks bug that I haven't... I have no idea what's the catalyst yet. The puzzle controller, I think what my theory is the fact that right now the puzzle controller, master puzzle controller, has only been used in the opening scene in the intro cave, and that's one puzzle, and that's the calibrate the rock scanner with the little knobs. What's happening is if you do a puzzle, you're fine. If you do a second puzzle, then things go bad. So let me give myself the right equipment. Unwired. There we go. So, and here's the whole. Yeah, this part's gonna suck. You're gonna find glitches. Just be aware. So, let me go full screen here. What the heck? All right. I still got the I'm so happy with the motion blur. That's looking really cool. All right, so we open it up. There you go. Uses the key to get the overflow out. So now we got our puzzle. And I think actually I did this puzzle on the stream, so I think you guys got to see this before. I'm trying to remember the pattern. I think it's there, here, and then here. Hey, I remembered it. There you go. There. So we completed that puzzle, which is awesome. Although that skip should go away. That's a glitch thing. Oh, yeah, I can't skip it. So the skip should be off. Because this is a one-time only cutscene that will never play again, and I want you to read the information so you don't get to skip those. All right. So that's one mini game puzzle. And let's come over here. Get by all this crap. There we go. And now we do this, and he tries to get the bucket off there. But nope, it isn't attached correctly. There we go. Speedrunners would be so mad at you. Well, no, because it'll be an even playing field, right? There'll be a minimum amount of time that you have to spend just getting through the mandatory cutscenes, you know. Excuse me, it's what you do in between. So there'll be a bottom time. That'd be cool. That'd be like, you know, X amount of hours, you know, or like probably an hour worth of you have to do this, and then it'll be up to you how fast you can complete the other stuff, you know. But yeah, anyone that finds out how to go below an hour, they're hacking the time. All right, so here it is. This is what I'm talking about. See this? You see the little screen here? It says A, begin the puzzle. Here's A. Here's me beginning the puzzle, and it ain't beginning. And this is the big mystery. So if you play a second puzzle, that's when it all goes to pot. So, so I just dropped these in here. So on begin, and then on gain focus. We got that, and on begin, and on gain focus is not getting fired on the second one. So there goes Killer Tofu. You just took it from, what did you say you wanted? You went from a third, now you want half now, right? With that insightful guidance. You're like, that's it, man. It's broken. I want half. Yeah. Have your service call my service. Staff. Where's my staff? Yeah, thanks. That's great. I appreciate that. I'm feeling really grounded now. What I got to figure out is actually what's calling. This is all Richard's code, and it's way over my head. So I know it's on begin, and then on gain focus. So, let's see. First thing to check is, let's go cutscenes, close that, puzzles. That's closed. Gripping puzzle. Okay, so it is coming online. Okay, so it does come online. But maybe there's something in here. On game focus. Let's do search, and let's see if we can find something that actually triggers that. Public override. Storage closet gears. Okay. Public. Oh, wait a second. General. Oh no, it's general. Okay. Yeah, so I have public override. So I have this there. But, okay, there's nothing in here that I can find that says on gain focus that actually calls it. So that would have been too easy. So I'm not sure what triggers the on gain focus. Unless there's something in the master puzzle base. So let's take a look at that. Move this over here. Oh, stop. Just snap. Thank you. I'm punchy. I am punchy. Alright, so let's see. Constants, it's not going to be in there. Yeah, so it's and ungain focus. And so yeah, but it's an empty because it's getting overridden, and I'm guessing that's probably yeah, that's the only place. So I have no idea what makes that go boom. Let's see. Oh, I could try this. So because the first time it happens, so this is my little evil trick I use sometimes, where I delete the object, so when the on-game focus gets called, it won't be there, so it'll give me an error message. And it's at runtime, so it doesn't break anything. So let's take it out of maximize, focused. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, so if we do this, blah blah blah, shut up and just open the door, dummy, thank you. Whoa, look at that, he's tripping. Oh, because I didn't use the key. Okay, that was my fault. Tired. Alright, so now we're going to go in the puzzle, and it should say on begin, right? But we haven't done focus yet. So, and if we're guessing that it's not being called internally, let's see. So, drilling puzzle. I could just maybe just try disabling it and see if that pisses it on off enough, or no, it still did on gain focus. Crap. Okay, so I gotta get more evil than that. I gotta just delete it outright, and I don't know if that'll allow me to click on it afterwards. Try this one more time. See if we can make any headway. Alright, do not begin the puzzle. Let's just go ahead and be crazy. Delete this outright. Oh, I can't do that because that's the entire. Okay, so remove component. There. So there's no way you can actually call on begin focus because I've just physically removed the script, right? Unless it's somewhere else. Yeah. Okay. So it is no longer alive and kicking. So if we do this, there it is. Oh no, it still did it. How can it, if you physically remove the script, how can it actually still call the function? That just breaks my brain. And I still have no idea. Let me see. Maybe on-game focus is something that's like a Unity thing. Is that an actual command call? Oh, it'd help if I could type correctly. On-game focus. No. Okay. Not heard of it? No, but yeah, right. Play dumb. Don't steal my shtick, man. Come on. No, the closest we have is on application focus, which is not the same thing. So, let's try this then. When in doubt, let's go to the magic F12. Okay, let's try that again. Magic F12. Yeah, that doesn't do crap. I thought. Okay. Then the next question mark is maybe one of these guys is driving it. Okay, good. Oh, that's what I could have done. I could have just hovered, couldn't I? Duh. It is. No, it's not giving me any information. Okay, so I know it's not him. Let's see. 1, 2. See if that triggers it. Okay, that triggers it. So I'm guessing it's the puzzle system. Yeah. All right. So it's in the puzzle system, but serious. Okay, so if you go to puzzle base. Oh, it's just the namespace. Okay, that's just calling the namespace. That's not really... Okay, but I guess that does infer that it's probably part of the puzzle base. Okay. Events. When the puzzle is first interacted with. It's puzzles first. Okay. Folder group. Okay. Complete to beginning. Yeah, like I said, so far over my head on this. This is not going to end well. Yeah. All right. You know what? I think I would just, you know what? I'm going to spend another half hour and be at the same point I am right now. But I think the cool thing is at least I have some place for Rich, my buddy, to focus on is the fact that the on-game focus doesn't get called the second time. I'm guessing, yeah, I think this is more custom. I don't think this is standard. But my guess is it has sort of like a strange something for me not to comprehend on the on-complete stuff. Yeah, so let's go to the on-complete. Okay, that's a tween. That's not going to help. That's wrong. Is it can complete? Can complete. Right. So we have the search and then puzzle solved. So my guess is there's something in the section of so puzzle solved. There's something here. There's some flag that you would want to be local, but is going global. That's saying that, you know, I need to know that this puzzle is out of commission, but it doesn't get flipped. So when the next puzzle gets started, that's still showing it as in progress. So it's like, oh, can't even start because we're, you know, conflicting with is it running or not. My guess, just an animator, so I don't know. But at least that gives, like I said, gives me a place to hand off to him and give him a place to focus on. But, all right. So since that's not going to go anywhere, let's look through my list and see if there's anything else. Whew, I am tired. I got like decent amount of sleep last night, but it's just, you know, that's so mentally exhausting doing an expo for 3 days straight by yourself. I mean, by yourself to a degree. I mean, I did have Rich come and hang with me on Saturday, but I mean, I'm still pitching the whole time, you know. And then trying to code at night. I don't code well when I'm lucid. I code worse when I'm, delirious. Let's see. First scan. Okay. Did bump. Trying to find something I can find that's here in Aftermath. I have a note about bring an empty container. Oh, wait. That's for the show. That I don't think that pertains to the game itself. The context there was funny because I was so proud of myself that I had I have a great dolly that's, Killer Tofu has been around long enough, probably remembers Fry's, which is long gone, but an electronics store that always had great stuff, and I got a dolly out of there years and years ago that is my saving grace. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah. But I was so proud of the fact that I kept my stuff so small this year for the show, right? And it was fantastic. And then I get it all there, and it's just like streamlined. I have my 2 TVs, I have the Dr. Smith cutout, and I have all my important stuff shoved in one carry container, and then I have like the bag over my shoulder, with like the Steam Decks, and I'm thrilled. I get the car loaded up. I get there and I'm unpacking, and then I instantly realize that the TVs don't fit because the dolly has like that lip at the end, and it's just kind of like at a weird angle. It's like, okay, that won't play, but it's like not a problem because I have the container. And then I remember that it's singular, container, not two, but one. So I put it there, and I realize there's no way in hell I'm going to get the TVs to balance on one container. And then I'm kicking myself. It's like, okay, you did a great job of streamlining, but too much. If I would have had just a few more items and had a second container, then I could have put them both there. TVs go on top of it. We're golden. But no. So I ended up having to do 2 trips so I didn't smash any TVs. So that's why I had the note in my personal notes for the show going, get second container. So not so much that I could put stuff in it, but more importantly that I could have the TVs balance on them. So that was a long-winded story for no reason. Told you, I'm tired. Show of hands. Anyone else like managed an expo, run a booth like that? I mean, I'm not talking like with a whole team, but I'm talking like just like solo, set up and torn down. All my other friends that I have doing their booths, they're rubbing my nose in the fact that it's like, yeah, we're packed up, we're heading out. It's like, of course you are. There's freaking 4 of you. That's like 12% more productivity. I was tired, so my math was sucking at that point. You're not allowed in public in my company? Okay. Fair enough. No. They just keep you locked up in the back room just to help with fixes when necessary, and open up the little flap and throw you food and Gatorade or Red Bulls. Yeah. Go in the bathroom. Get him a pot. There. The basement. There it is, the basement. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Since we're talking about the expo, I might as well show this as well. This is kind of cool, if I can find it. I didn't really get to see much. So, I didn't get to walk around and take a lot of pictures. So most of my pictures either involve things coming by me or when I'm making a trip to the restroom. So, actually, I did this one mainly for my wife, since she's like the Star Wars geek like I am. But there you go. That's the 501. No, those are the guys that take their Star Wars really seriously, But yeah, this is pretty trick. That's looking really good. I have no idea. I'm assuming that's not like store-bought kind of thing. I'm assuming that maybe it is. I don't know, but can't be. 501st wouldn't let you just do like a store-bought mask, so that's got to be pretty custom. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Because like I said, 501 don't half-ass it. It's got to be like genuine, So that was pretty cool. I had to snap a picture of that real quick, and I felt bad because I was, I'm abandoning my booth to make a restroom run on the far side too. Oh, this is another thing. If I'm gonna rant about the West Hall of the Convention Center at the Las Vegas Convention Center, let's do it for real. So the cool thing is the fact that I showed the map earlier. So my booth was very close to the wall, and there's bathrooms there. And you kind of go, oh, that's convenient. You can race over there, use the bathroom, come back. Not so fast. Yes, they have a couple of bathrooms spaced out, but when I say a couple, I genuinely mean that. You go there, and it's a stall. There's 2. It's at a butterfly kind of separation, but it's literally 2 stalls there. It's a convention center with tens of thousands of people, and you have one stall. Oh, it's like, oh, you want more than that? Then you have to walk to the other side of the hall. And then they have an indulgent restroom with 3 stalls. So I had to make the walk of shame, where I have to abandon my booth briefly, or have one of my buddies from the other booths just kind of keep an eye on things, and then quick walk all the way over to the other side of the convention wall just so I can be assured that I have a restroom, because you walk up to 2 occupied doors, they could be done in 5 seconds, they could be done in 5 hours. You have no idea how long you're standing there. At least if you have a view of the individuals doing their business, you can judge. Too much information. Anyways, the whole point I was going off on that diatribe is the fact that this is what's so sad is the fact that this guy's just I don't know what's going on behind the mask there. I don't know if he even sees me, if he's like focused on the cosplay chick that's wearing like a napkin and nothing else. I don't know if he's focused on what. But what was said is this guy was like looking away, right? And then he glances at me and sees that I got the camera. I'm raising up to take a picture. So he goes to the trouble. He busts out the lightsaber. He goes in his pose and he's firing it up. But at that point, I'm already lowering the phone. He had to look at his face like, well, damn. Sorry, dude. I could say back to one. Let's take another crack at that. But at that point, here's the wall. That's how close I am. And I got a booth that's empty, and I need to get back to it. Not to mention that I had 10 people come to my table, one after the other. So my time of needing to go to the restroom came and passed about an hour and 20 minutes before. So I really need to go over there. So anyways, yeah, exactly. Important. Very important. If it was not taken care of in the very near future, things are going to get very ugly very fast. And the other one was, there you go. So these guys just came walking by, so I was able to grab a quick photo of them. So there you go. For anyone that is a video gamer, that probably rings an immediate bell for you guys. But yeah, there was a ton of cosplay. There was absolutely a ton of cosplay, but I didn't get to take as many pictures as I like just because, like I said, I was very fortunate that I had a ton of people that were visiting the booth trying out the game. So, I don't have as much for show and tell, but I just got, a ton to process in terms of my own information. But interesting side note, a couple of really nice guys were over here showing off their game. It was a indie JRPG game, and dude, I was proud of my foot traffic. It paled in comparison to theirs. They had 3 chairs open, and it was rarely they didn't at least have 1 or 2 filled. Now, they did have a longer demo, but it's cool that they had people that tried the demo and would keep playing it. So that's very cool for them. Conversely, whatever game was supposed to be in this booth, they no-showed, so they resold the booth, and this is not a video game. This is in the indie game booth area, and that is not a video game. So that's just kind of sad and frustrating, but I don't understand why indie devs wouldn't jump at the chance. I mean, the booth is super inexpensive compared to other booths, and unlike other cities, if you travel to them, normally the hotels jack up the prices like crazy, but here in Las Vegas, we have more than a couple hotels here. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Las Vegas, but they have a couple hotels. You can usually find a decent deal. So, but I mean, they had 12 booths, I think, set aside for indie games, and in the end, there couldn't have been more than like 7 indie games, give or take. That's just top of my head, but yeah, that's just my own personal frustration. Never heard of the place? Yeah, you don't want to go near there. Bad things happen. But yeah, and unfortunately, that's literally on a restroom walk and just people that happen to stroll by me. That's all the good photos I have, unfortunately, for the convention. Excuse me. I'm not going to bother showing it because I don't like watching myself. I am not nearly narcissistic enough to have ever become an actor just because I do not watch my own stuff. But I did post a super short video of a tour of the booth. It's on YouTube. So if you want to check it out, it's pretty much just like the photo. I mean, it's pretty much just an animated version of this, right? Where it's me just introducing it and just showing the components. So, since you guys have seen the photo, here you go. I just saved you 40 seconds of your life right there. You don't have to do it. So, kind of stalled at this point because I don't think I'm going to make much headway. I mean, anyone that's watched this stream enough knows that, this is not typical. I'm usually not this sort of spacey. And like I said, it's not even like drugs or alcohol. It's just exhaustion. All right, so let me take this stuff out since we're not gonna do that. Here we go. I'll get to it this way. On gain focus, and then on begin. So there's that one, and here, kill that one as well. Oh, here we go. I was meeting with a lawyer last week about some stuff. Okay, cryptic, nice. And at the end of it, he pulled up an iPad and had us watch a video of his own barbershop quartet he's in. Oh, that's awesome. That's funny. Well, okay, so that's a gentleman that's a little more prideful. So, Killer Tofu, you're of, like me, you're of a certain age. So, when you say barbershop quartet, my brain instantly goes to Cheers, because Cheers had all the greatest jokes in the history of television. So I'm going to do the Cheers reference. For anyone that doesn't know, Cheers was a TV show in the 80s, one of the best written comedies of all time. There was a character named Norm that just kind of hung out at the bar all the time. He lived there at the bar, right? He was open and closed. He was there. But in one opening, they always had a cold open where they would have like some little jokey moment and they'd go into the credits. But they had one with Barbershop Quartet, and the guys were walking in, and it's like, guys, let's try this one more time. Let's figure out what went wrong, right? And then the guy does a little, and then they do "Good Night, Ladies," "Good Night, Ladies," and at one point they finish it, and the lead guy turns to the bassist and he goes, "That's the note that cost us the competition." And the bassist looks at him and he goes, "Well, that's the comment that cost you a bassist." He takes his hat off and throws it on the ground and walks out the door. And they're like, "Oh, great. What are we going to do? We don't have a bassist now. We got that other competition, and we don't have a bassist." And then Norm Peterson, heavyset guy, kind of waddles up there and he goes, "Guys, hey, I couldn't help it over here, but it's always been a lifelong ambition of mine to be in a barbershop quartet." And they're like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, you want to give it a try?" "Yeah, let's give it a try." And he gets in there, and they do the "Good Night, Ladies," and then he nails it. He's doing the bass, "Good night," and just completely nails it. And then you hear the audience applause, and all the barbershop quartet members are applauding, and they're like, "Yeah, this is great. We got ourselves a new bassist." And then we see Norm is already walking away from them, back to the other end of the bar, and they're like, "Hey, where are you going? Where are you going?" He goes, "Yeah, no, that was good." He goes, "Wait, I thought you said this was your lifelong dream." And he goes, "Yeah, it was. Thanks for the memories, guys," and just keeps walking. All right. You guys may not laugh, but I just thought that was brilliant comedy. So, there's my barbershop quartet reference. Not nearly as cool as, "Hey, let me show you my barbershop." I guess my follow-up question, yeah, Cheers had the killer jokes. My follow-up question would be, so when he was showing you that video where he was stroking his own ego by saying, "Look at me in my barbershop quartet," my only question would be, was he still on the clock? Were you paying him $500 an hour? Videos. Oh, God. Were you paying him $500 an hour to watch his performances? I'm pretty much, I'd be calling shenanigans on that if that was the case. Well, and he's a lawyer. So he's got to be honest, Oh, yeah, Shakespeare had the best line on that. Anyways. Wow. he was very clear. Mm-hmm. Sounds like he's trustworthy, for a lawyer. No such thing as creative accounting for lawyers. All right, so I looked at the ladder, get on the ladder, put the pole down. Yeah, you know what? I may just review the little goofy things that are out there. Ivy! Sorry to miss so much. I hope you're doing well. Ivy, doing great. How are you doing, Ivy? I'll do a quick recap. I don't want to bore all the people that are already here since I went over it. I'm sorry I missed last week. I don't know if you chimed in at any point, but last week I had to shut down and finish the changes to the game because we had a we had a convention called Level Up. I'll show the picture one more time. Ivy, you'll appreciate this. There you go. That's what the booth looked like. So for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we were at the convention center here in Las Vegas, and we had tons of people play the game this weekend, and the vast majority of them actually completed the demo, which was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, a lot of great responses, a lot of older fans that were interested, until they heard it's a video game, and then I explained that it'll have a movie mode, where they could just sit back and eat their popcorn and watch it like a regular episode. So I think I got them on board as well. Time will tell. But there you go. That was this weekend. So that's the Killer Tofu, that's great. You like that idea? The movie. Yeah, the movie mode idea. Yeah. And it was funny because I had one person, I don't remember if it was on here or if it was just someone in person, but I did have someone actually mention that when I mentioned the movie mode. They said, but wait, aren't you concerned that someone's just gonna like take your game and record the movie mode and put it on YouTube? And it's kind of like, you mean like game streamers do? And he was like, oh shoot, yeah, okay, I guess that doesn't matter, does it? He was like, can't put the movie mode in there, that will ruin everything. No, okay, no, that's amazing. Only time will tell. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it was a great show. You could probably hear it in my voice. I'm still raspy, but that's because I was talking a lot. I mean, it was just absolutely. I mean, I literally for the entire convention, I was trying to do the math in my head. I maybe had an hour worth of sit down time where I wasn't just standing around and letting people come in and play the game, which is fantastic. So there you go. But yeah, so can't do movie mode. People put it on the YouTube. Okay. You're not familiar with how game streamers work, are you? All right, so I was just going to take a look at some of the minor glitches I found while people were playing. Did I change anything? Oh, what the heck, I'll save it. All right, so we're going to switch back over here because some of the little minor glitches, because there's a lot more going on in here. So there's more chances of things being a little goofy. All right, we're going to skip this. Like so. All right, and then we'll say, there we go. Wish it could have been there. I'm glad it was so good. And yeah, I definitely will use movie mode a lot. Yeah, it's coming. That's something that's on our list for sure. That will be there at some point. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was a challenge before YouTube. Before you could just like watch someone else play your entire game for you. That's what I did for Last of Us, because there's just no way I was gonna have all the time to play that game all the way through. So I just like threw it up on the background and just let it kind of play and watch it in my peripheral vision. All right, so I should have. There we go. So, oops. Wait, why did it say I can't use lava on that? Can't use the lava with that? That's okay. That's interesting. That's it's a crystal rock. It's not lava. So let me do a screen grab on that. Okay, I just found something else. That one's on me, I think. That's probably my fault. There you go. It's minor, but it's still annoying that it's there. All right. So, oh, okay, you jerk. Put the ladder down. Okay. Good. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so now I can put the rock down. I just want to demonstrate. So I have to do it once. You can't skip until you do these animations once, because my animator is such a prima donna. He's like, they have to watch at least once. Oh, wait, that's me. I'm very bad at most games, so I watch a lot of those too. But this one will not be like arcade. You know, I mean, it's not one of those things where you're going to have to do timing and that kind of stuff. It's going to be much more of a logic puzzle kind of thing. We may have some arcade elements, you know, like the jetpack or something. I'm still deciding if we're going to go that direction. But if we do, it will always be skippable. It will never be a barrier to make it through the rest of the game. So, okay, there we go. So let's pick this up. There we go. So now, let's see if I can see it from here. Oh, that's glitching. Okay. There. So this is what I want to show you. This is funny. It's ghost-like. So what happens is if you skip it, it will jump his animation to the last frame, right? Where he's just standing idle. But it doesn't jump for the bowl. So you see the bowl just kind of... Thanks for not making it too hard, of course. So the bowl just kind of puts itself down, which is kind of trippy. You see that? It's just kind of like, yeah. It's like, wait, don't turn the camera back on yet. I'm not on the ground yet. It's an easy fix. It's just one of those little minor quirk things that we got to address. Let's see. First getting a green gem. Green light is blinding. Yeah, this is something that changed versus the demo. Oh, crud. I need to do this again. Let me just take it out. Focused. There you go. Oops, dropped it. Yeah, slowly. He dropped. Yeah, it's sort of like the bowl doesn't feel gravity. It's like gravity on like, Mars or something. All right. Turn this back on. And let's come over here. Put the ladder down. So, for some reason, the light just is screaming here. There's like a real-time green light, and I don't know. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's like a neon cafe bright light, and I have no idea what's driving that. Out of curiosity, I guess what I could do is pause it and see if it's a real-time light. If I could select the right object. There it is. Green gems. Maybe. Gravitize like Nirams. There you go. You just gotta blow the breath out. What was it like? Was it hold your breath or blow your breath out? I'm sorry, I'm a little tired, but I am. Oh, by the way, I do plan on actually trying to integrate that back into it too. I thought that was cool. I thought it'd be funny. I won't promise this will happen, but because they both are aware of how it works, because for them this is like a repeat of that instance. Will is brave, so he'll jump in there immediately and just do the descent. But Dr. Smith will hem and haw until Robot comes up behind him and gooses him and knocks him in. So then sending Smith down, yelling and yelping the whole time, no doubt. All right, did I get it that time? No, that's not it. Yeah, I won't promise. Yeah, I won't promise that is going to be in there, but I would really like to make that happen. So point light, it is a real-time light, and it's not turned on, so it's not him. Is it this? This guy. Also not turned on. Okay, how can these... Let's see. So it's, okay, let me just, I'm not even in the right place here. Cutscene, scan, green gems. There it is. And there's no light there. What the heck? Yeah, but the beam doesn't actually emit. It shouldn't. Huh. Oh. Maybe it is. No, you see, no. I've disabled that, and it's still blaring. There you go. It's up here. Highlight. Here it is, and it's baked. Enhanced. Okay, I guess it's this guy. And if he's baked, I'm not gonna get it turned off. Turning off won't have any effect anyways. But Alright, I'll have to double check with my old demo version to see if it was like a setting change or if I did that, because I thought it'd be cool and it wasn't. Because that's just, I mean, it's weird. It's weird because it's baked, but it turns on and off. So I mean, it seems like this shouldn't actually be dynamic. I mean, it's static. And I mean, it's not like it's mixed. You know, if mixed, I guess if it's baked, it would still affect him. But, yeah, that's it, baked. And, oh, there it is. Found it. Here's the bad boy. This is the guy that's doing it. Look at that. And he is a light green crystal spot. What the heck is that? Okay. Let me make a note of that. Light green crystal spot. Light green crystal spot. Real time. Very hot. Excuse me. Because, I mean, it seems like it's only there. Oh. Yeah, I talked about this earlier too. We're going to make a revision, and I just demonstrated why it's a good idea. The fact that, you know, if you go another part of the cave and you realize you left your ladder behind, you have to... So we're going to change it because we have some quirks that come from putting the ladder down, or actually this, climbing the ladder. We're going to unify it into one action, and that's going to fix a lot. And every time you come down like that, it'll automatically just... He'll bend over and pick up the ladder. So you'll never not have it. And it's just... Anytime you put down the ladder, he'll climb the ladder automatically, because why else are you dropping the ladder down unless you want to be on it? So anyways, so if we do this, yeah, see, there's no highlight there. It's missing that giant screaming yeah, red crystal spot. Okay, it's there, but it's just not getting activated, I think. Yeah, it's just, it's simple. I'm glad you agreed, Kilatofu, thank you. But it was one of those things when we found a bug that I talked about earlier, that had to do with the fact that if you climb the ladder, and if you open your inventory and closed it, you can still see a remnant of it, right? But what happened at that point, if you open your inventory and closed it, then you could literally not move off the ladder, and the game was ended right there. My programmer Richard was able to track it down fast, but it's just, there's no reason for it. You know, I mean, the climbing the ladder is a relic of back in the day when it was like, you know, originally I never intended you to be able to climb the ladder, you know, but enough people were like going, why can't I climb the ladder? You know, that I gave up and added that in there. So, switching. Makes sense gameplay-wise, especially with your goal of making the game more accessible. Exactly, yeah, streamlined. Yeah, and it just is an awkward thing. I mean, it's the animator in me is gonna cry over that, because it's like, no, it's nice. It's two separate animations. It's a beat. It's a, you know, it's a animation beat. It's like, yeah, the producer's like, yeah, no, we're done. That's gone. So, yeah, that'll be nice and unified. But anyways, what I was trying to look at. Yeah, so here you go. So we have this one, which is the red. So unless it's going to like suddenly get extreme here. Yeah. So we also have a red crystal spot highlight that's similar to the green, but not nearly as bad. So intensity of 1, 13, 2.5. So the green is 10. That's what's going on there. Somehow that, and then let's see the blue. I mean, I could boost it a little bit, I guess, if we go 3. There you go. That's kind of cool. I think 3 is a decent value for these guys. So let me try that. Look at this. I'm actually fixing something today. I didn't think I'd get anything. It's probably too big to carry. Yeah, that's the old joke about point-and-click adventure games. The fact that they just put all the stuff in their pockets and it all fits fine. But you know, it's funny the fact that people call it out. It's like, you know, putting a ladder in your pocket is one thing, but I think more concerning and detrimental is the fact that he fills a crystal bowl with red hot lava and proceeds to put it in his pocket. You know, he's a brave young man. Sorry, I let you. Exactly. Yeah. Just accept the fact that you're no Lucchini. You know. Sorry, buddy. I don't mean to be rude, but yeah, you need to work on your distraction skills. But yeah, and I did have people kind of point out that kind of stuff. You know, where they kind of look and point out like, well, this kind of doesn't make sense here. And my counter argument is always the same, you know. And this would be a little. I only used it once, and it was actually a friend of my wife who came by to visit, and I used it on her. I didn't use it on any strangers I didn't know, but she called something out in the game that was kind of like ticky tack, and I said, okay, I just want to clarify this. So you have no problem with the fact that this family got on a spaceship, traveled millions of miles off course, crash landed on an alien planet which just conveniently happens to have perfect gravity and breathing oxygen, right? So we're fine with that. But the fact that the little gem didn't rotate perfectly like that, that's where you draw a line and kind of go, oh, this is fake. He's just like climbing on things. A big developer once said that realism is not as important as fun. Amen. I totally agree with that, you know. Absolutely. If it, you know. Okay, here we go. So this is better. So there you go. So now we got the green glow, and it's not screaming. So that's a 3. Oh, and this is a bug right here. This is another bug, too. I have to move away and come back just to get the ladder to activate. You know, and by unifying like we're talking about doing, that little glitch goes away. Not a bug, but a glitch. More than once. All right, so let's check out the red here. And then I'm going to have to call it a day. I have to dash off here really fast. Poor Penny. She's expecting her dish time, and the wife is going to have to step in for me and do it because I got to run out here shortly. But let's see. There you go. Get the nice red glow. There you go. Yeah, it's more subtle on this one, but that's fine. And then, oops, see? Speaking of forgetting the ladder, I'm just illustrating my point of why that needs to be an all-in-one thing. And I just went by the blue gems. Let's see if that is recognizable as well. Scan it. Yeah, he's lighting up pretty well. Or did it actually turn on? Oh well. If it's there, that's awesome. If not, it doesn't break anything. I hit Control S on that for definitely saving that progress there. But sorry not to be so much lately. I have therapy tomorrow. Oh, you okay? Ooh, okay. I hope it's going well for you, Ivy. I'm sorry to hear about the therapy. But therapy is a good thing, right? That means that you're on the mend, I hope. Yeah, unfortunately I got some family stuff on my own that's why I got to dash off. But yeah. But yeah, don't worry about it. I'm here either way. And, you know, if you miss it and you're curious, you can always watch the videos on YouTube. But it's great when you're here to say hello and visit, for sure. But, yeah, we're there. We're right at the 4 o'clock mark, so I'm going to have to shut it down. And I'm hoping tonight I get myself a big night's sleep, so I'll be a lot more lucid tomorrow. Just normal. Okay. Wow. Well, I'm glad that you are getting the therapy to help. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Killer Tofu. Get one little toss in there before we call it a day. Yeah. Yep. Sorry I missed last week, but it was necessary. I would not have gotten all the pieces in place to test the new section, which played really well, by the way. Yeah, there you go. Just play with there you go. Do it for me. Yeah, I could tell my wife. It's just like, yeah. They play with Penny online. That counts. But yeah, happy to be back streaming. I will be back here again tomorrow. we'll let Penny have her cameo, and then she's going to get all upset with me. But at least she'll have this delusional moment that she thinks that she's going to get her playtime in the backyard. One sec. Oh, here it goes. Oh, jeez. Yeah? Mm-hmm. She's like snorting in my face. That's awesome. Dog's not. That's right there. Yeah, Killer Tofu, thank you so much. Lucini is out there watching shows now, but thanks for coming by as well. Thanks for everyone else that's kind of hanging out just in the background. Happy to have you guys there. And but yeah, Ivy, same for you. I'm glad you made it back around. Hope you're doing well. Hope the therapy goes well for you. I will be back again tomorrow from 2 to 4 Pacific time, and I'm here Monday through Friday. Last week was my vacation time. Vacation's over. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Let me get prepped here. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and hope you guys can make it again real soon. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic day, night, whatever it is for you, and hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, adios.